Hello, everybody. We are back for the NFL DFS slate breakdown for Thursday night football. We have the Seahawks versus the Cardinals, and which should be an interesting divisional matchup. I'm your host, Tyler Weeman, and come join us at LINESTAR. We have so many different ways to try us out for free. We have a ton of different promo codes for you guys to get one free month. Go to our website. There's a slew of them. All of the promo codes are LINESTAR. And then just make sure you fill out this little form here once you do that. We also have free trials through the app stores or on the website. Just go to whatever, way is easiest for you. If you've never tried us out, you can get free 7 days to try us out. Then you can stay for $39.99 per month, gets you access to all you do. All right. So today, what we will do is we are going to start by going through a game overview. We're going to start with the injuries, then a little bit about the game, and then break it down position by position to give you guys, as much information as you need to start building lineups for tomorrow night's game. Now, let's get over to the Seahawks injury report first. And with that, we have Josh Jones out. Nick Emanwari is doubtful. Then questionable, we have Anthony Bradford, Zach Charbonnet, and Boye Mafe. Sharbs was a full practice for the last 2 days. So all expectation there is he is probably good to go. Now, let's get over to the Cardinals injury report. And with that, we have a bunch of questionable guys, and then Zay Jones is out. Will Johnson is doubtful. Kelvin Beachum, Evan Brown, Akeem Davis-Gaither, Darren Hall, Paris Johnson, Will Hernandez, all questionable. Interesting enough, it's 4 offensive linemen, so that obviously could cause some issues if some of them don't play. So keep that in mind. And now let's get into the game itself. I'm getting over to that starting lineup here. So we got a 43.5 game total. The game is in a dome in Arizona, and the Seahawks are minus 1.5 road favorites. The offense, fairly healthy with the exception of James Conner being done for the season, but they got a very good guy in Trey Benson there to pick up the slack. So while it is a big loss, he's a great vet. Benson is solid, and we're going to get into that. Now, let's go over to the position by position breakdown, and we will start off with the quarterback position. We got Kyler Murray. He is coming up in, let's go to DraftKings just because it's bigger contest there. Coming in at 10.8K, 17-point projection. The consensus is 18.53. Keem, thank you for showing up. Ved Patel, that's a tough one to tell you which way to go. Should I trade Ferguson for Ray Rice? I would much prefer Ray Rice, but if you need wins, Rice isn't going to be there for a while. Kyler Murray or Geno Smith? Ooh, ouch. Who are the Raiders playing again? Who do they play again? Oh yeah, Chicago. I would probably say Geno. I mean, if you can't put up numbers against Chicago, can you put numbers up against anybody? All right, let's get back to this, though. Let's not get too sidetracked here. So we got Kyler Murray. Our team defense tool has him at 14th, or 14th versus QB. Yes, Billy, Rashee Rice. That was the question. If I said Ray, I definitely meant Rashee, and I am sorry. Thank you for the correction there. Kyler Murray, we have him at 14th versus QB on our team defense tool. of these two quarterbacks, Kyler obviously is the only one with major rushing upside. The one issue here is he doesn't rush for many touchdowns. While he's good for an extra, 2 to 4 points, the touchdown doesn't come all that often from the ground. However, this year, he has said that he wants to make it a point to rush more. So maybe we do get more touchdowns. If I am playing Kyler Murray, I might have a little of him at captain. I don't like quarterbacks at captain. Only rushing quarterbacks do I like at captain. Passing ones, I generally tend to think one of the playmakers are going to score a little bit better, because especially on DraftKings where it's full point PPR, and FanDuel where it's half, you can talk me into quarterbacks at the MVP or the captain a little bit more. All in all, Kyler's a good play. Seattle has been a stingy defense so far this year, 236.7 passing yards per game. They're allowing 10 yards rushing per game, but okay, Billy, you're just messing with me. Cool, thanks. I just wanted to make sure. I did not want to say Ray Rice, that's for sure. But all in all, it's an okay matchup. Seattle's 9th versus the opponent quarterback. It's not like we have a slew of other quarterbacks we can go to. It is likely he's going to end up in a perfect lineup. I'm going to be playing him. I'm also going to have some Darnold on, some of the lines, especially with them being favored. With it being a tight game, both these quarterbacks need to be considered. And the Cardinals defense has given up a little bit more over the last 288 passing yards per game so far this season, 275 passing a game. 18th is their opponent rank. If we look at their team defense tool, 22nd versus the quarterback. And again, the team defense tool is like DVOA, very similar. The big difference is that we have it on a rolling average. So we can look at smaller portions of the season as well as a bigger portion. But our belief is just, throughout the season, each team changes so much that we want to keep kind of breaking it up a little bit to get a better representation. Now, the team DVOA, the team defense tool, I don't seriously take consideration to it until we get 4 games in. For now, to me, it is something I will look at, but I'm not going too hard on any of them. Team, yes, Marvin and McBride are great weapons. Both, decent matchup. Marv probably isn't going to be able to get deep too much because Seattle likes to keep too high. I do prefer McBride. I think McBride has a much better matchup of the two, and we're going to get into that next. So of the quarterbacks, I do prefer Kyler. There is just more upside because of the rushing side, but it's really lineup dependent and what your lineup is telling, what story your lineup is telling as far as which one of these guys I will use. Mostly probably going to use them in the flex spots versus MVP or captain. Getting on over to the running back spot. Now, this is actually an interesting one to talk about this week because we got a lot of different guys we can talk about. Trey Benson is now the RB1 in Arizona, and I absolutely love this matchup for him. He is a guy that can bust a big one and can really make things happen in space. And what has the Seahawks allowed? 7.3 receptions per game to the running back and 78 receiving yards. To go along with that, 80 rushing yards. Benson is going to have his opportunities to put his mark on this team and on this game, and I am very interested about using him quite a bit here. Also, with the amount of receiving that Benson could be doing, I'm absolutely fine stacking him with Kyler in some lineups. I think it is going to be a sharp way to build, which not as many people may do that. They'll probably lead to, McBride and and Marv, but I don't mind going, say, a Benson McBride, and then filling out the rest of my lineup. So far on this season, we can't talk too much about what Benson has done just because he hasn't got that much play, but he's been solid in his opportunities. 7 rushes per game for 41 yards a game, 2.7 receptions for 15 yards a game. The upside is there. He is a big back that ran like a 4.4. He's definitely interesting, and I'm excited to watch what he can do tomorrow night. Then we have the Seahawks side. We got Charbonnet. We got Kenneth Walker. We're not really sure if Charbonnet is going to play yet. I do have to say that he did practice in full the last 2 games. The last 2 days. And so my guess is he's good to go. And with that, what is the split going to be like? So far, these guys have pretty much split it 50-50. You know, Sharb has actually had a bigger snap count percentage than Walker, but workload wise, it's been very, very split. I think either one of these guys makes sense. The one thing that I think is very interesting is Charbonnet is the better pass blocker. He's the better receiving back, but he has 0 receptions yet on this on the year. And I think that is an interesting spot with Arizona also giving up receptions and yards to the running back. I think there's sneaky upside here with Sharbs, and his price is a bit down. Of the 2, Walker is clearly the better runner, but if the play is blocked well, Sharb can get plenty of yards as well. Kenneth Walker, last game, 16 for 38, 2 tutties without Sharb. Still was only on the field like 50%, but it was a major blowout, so that was a big reason why. The game before that goes for 13 and 105 with a touchdown, adding a reception for 13 yards. He is absolutely capable of those big games, and this is a decent spot for him. The one thing is the Cardinals have actually been stout versus the run. It's the receiving aspect where they have got beat. So while Walker can absolutely catch passes, he does not excel in that spot. So, you know, that's the one issue, and he's high priced. Really, either one of these backs can do it, and Sharb is just way lower price. So I would expect him to end up much higher owned. We have Charbonnet at 20%, 17 for Walker, and then 27 for Benson. I would expect all of these to go higher than they are right now. Then we got to talk about DeMarcado. He is expected to be the RB2. We got a 4-star alert score on him. After Connor got hurt last game, it was Benson. I think he got 8 touches to DeMarcado's like 3. So I think that from that, we can learn that it is going to be Benson's job. It's just, is that kind of the ratio that we're looking at? Or will DeMarcado eat a little bit more into it with a week to prepare, or, 3 days to prepare for this game? And with that, because of that unknown aspect, it is worth taking some shots. Just don't go too heavy on it. Now, let's get over to the wide receivers. And real quick, just Seahawks 20th as far as our team defense tool. All right, receiver time. There has been nobody more consistent than Jackson Smith-Njigba so far. 3.5-star alert score. I want to show this, which I think is crazy. 13 targets, 9 for 124. 10 targets, 8 for 103. 6 for 596 and a tutty. Literally scoring 21 to 23, every single game. The targets are there. He is clearly the number 1 option. And if we click Arizona, look what he did last year versus them. 6 for 77 and a tutty, 5 for 82, a tutty, and a carry and 4 yards. I think we can pretty much just chalk JSN up for another 20 burger. And, he's a very good receiver and clearly the number 1 option on the Seahawks. I'm going to be playing a ton of them. Marvin Harrison, 7,800. We have a 13-point projection. Same with the consensus. He's coming in at 60% owned. He is obviously the number one over there in Arizona. My issue here is the targets. 6 targets last game, 2 drops. 5 targets, only 2 receptions. 6 targets, 5 for 71 and a touchdown. While he's the number one, Kyler is just not throwing to the wide receiver that much. And Seattle's pass D has been very, very good so far. 98 yards per game to the wide receiver, 0.3 touchdowns per game. Over the last 4, it's all pretty similar. They have been very, very good. Is Kupp a start? I mean, I don't love Kupp personally. I would be trying not to start him wherever I can. But you can start him. He has the upside. Went for 9 or 7 for 90 in week 2, but just outside of that, he hasn't been there. All in all, with Marv, he is a talented young receiver, hasn't fully grown into a new role, and they're not finding him easy ways to get him the ball. I think he might go a little bit over-owned. I'm fine playing a little bit, but I'm not going to play very much. Cooper Kupp. I've been fading Cooper Kupp literally all off season and have faded him so far to start the season. The matchup's decent for him though. Cardinals 25th versus the wide receiver. He has been getting a little bit love. If this is a game that he gets a few more targets, the ceiling is there. If you want to play some, by all means do it. He's just not my favorite play. This point in his career, I just think he's washed. However, can he have a 7 catch for 100 and a tutty game? Yes, that is still in his wheelhouse. I mean, it's been a little while since he's done it, but you know, he can do it still. Michael Wilson, 3,300. He is the wide receiver 2, another guy that's just not really getting targets, and it is a very tough defense on the wide receiver standpoint. Now, Zay Jones is out. I do think it opens up some room for Greg Dortch. Greg Dortch likely comes in and plays as the wide receiver 3, and I'm actually pretty intrigued by Dortch. We have seen when he gets on the field, he can make some stuff happen, and he's cheap, and with that, I'm going to be playing some of him at 3,200. There's the upside. Weaver, Fico, both could possibly play. Neither do I really like too much. Trey Horton had his coming out party last game. Returned a kickoff, had 3 for 32 and a tutty. The game before, 2 for 32 and a touchdown. They really like this kid. I would rather play him than Kupp. He's cheaper, but the consistency with targets just is not going to be there yet. He's a rookie, and he's going on to his 4th game. But he is absolutely one of those deep touchdown options that could help win the slate, that goes a little lower owned than they should be. Team defense tool-wise, JSN in a great spot. Marv, rough one. Wide receiver 2-wise, Cooper Kupp in a tougher matchup than JSN. Michael Wilson in a tough matchup as well. So getting over to the tight end, we got Trey McBride. Really don't need to say all that much with McBride. We know who he is. He's an absolute beast. He gets it done. Had huge games last year versus Seattle. 15 for 133, 7 for 70 with 14 targets in both games. He had 14 and 15 targets. So average 14.5 targets versus them last year. That is a wildly high number. And Seattle has been bad versus tight end for years. Over the last 4, 58 yards per game and 1 touchdown a game, ranking last. So far this season, 60 per game, a touchdown, ranking last. And we know who McBride is. Don't need to get into all of that. Now, getting into the tight end side on the Seahawks side is a little interesting. It is A.J. Barner's role. Now, I think some people may look at the box score and see that Elijah Aurora got a little action last week. He got blowout run. And I do think Varner is in an interesting spot and probably going to go overlooked because he really hasn't done too much this year. Like Seattle, the Cardinals aren't very good at covering the tight end, 60 per game to the tight end. However, they haven't allowed a touchdown, but they are still ranked 21st in the league. And Varner, his problem is he just really hasn't done much. 1.3 receptions per game so far this season for 16.3 receiving yards per game. He does have a tutty, though. So if we can get another tutty, there is absolutely a path to him being optimal. I don't mind a little bit of him. He is another low-owned play that you can throw out there. Higgins has got a little bit run. He's, going to be a touchdown or bust only play. Same with Arroyo. Arroyo has got some play in every single game, and he's got more every single game. So this role may continue to grow, but I do still think that it is AJ Varner's role, and we're going to have to wait a little bit to see Elijah really take it over. All right, getting over to kickers and defense. With the game total 43.5, I think we absolutely could go either side, Cardinals or Seahawks in this one. Now, the Seahawks have the better defense of the two. Cardinals have been a little sneaky, though. And what have Seattle D done so far? They've got 16 versus New Orleans, 14 versus Pitt, 8 versus the 49ers. And the offense on the other side really isn't all that dynamic. There's not a ton of ways they can beat you deep. They can beat you underneath, and they're just going to likely have to continually put in first downs together to be able to beat this defense. I don't mind using some Seattle defense whatsoever. On the Cardinals side, they did have a big game versus Carolina. Outside of that, just okay performances. I do prefer Seahawks, but Arizona is at home. That always, swings things a little bit in their way. And that Seattle offensive line can be questionable. Kicker-wise, we had Jason Myers, Chad Ryland. Myers had one huge game, couple meh games, and Ryland right around 10. I think both these guys you need to consider in these medium scoring output games. We can get those outlier situations where a kicker is needed for like a captain or in the optimal lineup. So I think both kickers absolutely in play today. Well, that's going to round it out for us. We will be back tomorrow with MLB props and DFS, and then later in the afternoon I will have a NFL props show for week 4 for this Sunday games. You all have a good one. Thank you for joining us, and please come join us at LINESTAR. $39.99 per month gets you access to all we do, the props, the DFS, you get it all. Talk to y'all later.